Greetings, survivors. So this is my base, and I want to give you guys a little tour. This is obviously the military base, and why not start with the garage? Um, so the garage has 3 sliding doors from the original, and I replaced it with 2 um, 2 powered garage doors, which fits just perfectly in place of those 3. The powered garage doors are enough for the 4x4 to enter and exit without issues. Of course, if I was better aligned, would be okay. I have some power coming here, and it connects to motion sensors on this side. That motion sensor is not aiming right. Huh. Okay, whatever. And motion sensors to open from inside, and the trigger plates are work like wire relays to have the advantage of these trigger plates. Um, I need to chain because I have motion sensors outside as well to open it. So they need to be connected. All the triggers need to be connected at the same time in series, in chain, one to another, for them um, to be able to bypass each other. So like even if the inside motion sensor is not seeing me, this one can open. And if I had a wire relay, that would not work. All right. Now, the military base has a half block thing, and I've replaced that with full blocks because otherwise zombies were able to stand on the edge of my ditch and beat at the walls. So I got rid of that. And it's now off a wall, and it's also very tall, so it can accommodate the drawbridge you saw me driving through. I have some electric fences on the corners. Uh, they they're nice against screamers or roaming hordes because I do have advanced engineering level 5, which gives me 50% experience from electrical trap kills. So I can just stay inside and do my stuff, and this will kill roaming hordes and screamers, and I'll get experience for it. Same on each corner. It would be nice to have a space because if a screamer comes here, well, that turret's not going to help me with that. All right. So I do have doors on the sides to get inside and out more quickly. This is damage from last Horde night. left wood back at the base thinking I was not going to need it, and I needed it. So I had to come here, and the vultures spat at me and did a lot of damage here. So destroy some stuff here. Now you might notice this was a wood frame, but you see there is earth here. These are actually plates. Um, and this is actually cobblestone or flagstone maybe. I replaced all the gravel blocks with cobblestone because I thought it was better. And I covered most of the earth with plates. Some of it is replaced with wood frames, but if I did not dig it up, I just cover it with plates. And the reason for that is that zombies can spawn on Earth. So if I leave this like this for the next Horde night, um, there is a big chance of a zombie spawning right here inside my base. Now, this building here is unoccupied, despite the fact I did fix the windows. I thought it was fair. And in fact, there's some extra damage around here, and I fixed those. Um, I also expanded a little bit these things here. The original base has like this table on one side, but not on the other. Speaking of table, I can no. This table does not have. You cannot shoot through it. So if there's this table in the game, you cannot shoot through it. It's annoying. This building is also empty, and again I did a lot of repairing inside and painting, got the windows nice and ready. Let's have some light here, but the roof is completely different, and we'll get to that. On top of it, I have my gyrocopter airport. And on top of this building, I have my farm. And this building here is my base. So these crates on the side are for trader stuff. Dig Safe has my cash. I thought better to use something sturdier. I did lose one chest full of very valuable valuables in the game, so since replace stuff with sturdy stuff. Um, Eventually, I might have used gun safes all around here because it has two advantages. Um, it's easy to get from here. If I go up here, it's also easy to get from here, as opposed to this guy, because this guy is not high enough. So I have to kind of drop here to be able to get to it. This is basically all stuff I intend to sell to the trader, you know? Nothing special. Nothing special. All right. I still need the boots. Could never find the boots. Not high enough quality, I mean. Okay. Of note as well, I've replaced these farm plots from the original with my own because zombies can also spawn on these farm plots. So replace all of them. Something here? No. Where is my pumpkin? Ah, my pumpkin. Pumpkin. I can make a jack-o'-lantern with a lantern. I cannot make pumpkin bread because I don't know how. I can make pumpkin seeds. So what I should do is keep it here so I can multiply it eventually. All right, this thing here is just because I kept missing the stair and it was really irritating, so this keeps me centered. Now, that's my bedroll, and this is my land claim. This is actually one block to this side. It should have been here. instead of here to be perfectly centered. So you can see that door and that wire relay there. These are the center. They're on the center. And it is centered from one side to the other, despite the fact that it's not visible here. So let's go inside. And I did break the window here, put a vault door. There is nothing really on this room here. Uh, Down here, this is new. And I also have broke the window here as well, put a vault door. I choose the safe. This safe is always empty. That's funny. That's the other. Nah. Okay, I guess they are not ready to be for the loot to respawn. Okay. Right. Some light here on this mysterious door we'll get to in a while. Okay. Now here, don't mind the texture, it's doing that. I have the motion sensor which opens the door, and I have this motion sensor which activates the blade trap. This trigger plate also opens the door. And again, you can see the trigger plates I use, so the motion sensor connects to this trigger plate in a chain, and either one can open the door. And this is my main craft room. I have 3 chemistry stations. I have 2 workbenches here, 2 forges, 3 forges, 2 cement mixers, and a lone campfire. Now, the stuff I have, food is this too. This is some other stuff. I'm using the drawers because drawers have 1500 hit points and they have explosion resistance. But honestly, these drawers replaced the chest like 2 days ago. So I never had these drawers up until pretty much right before, well, uh, 1 or 2 days before last fortnight. So my mods, non-stackable stuff, forge material, and I'm out of iron again. I do have a lot of stone. I managed to preserve that, I like it. Yeah, this things disappearing is annoying. Oh, I did have gunpowder crafting here. Oh, the table saw, which is almost never used. I mean, they have these wood stairs with railings, but there is plenty of stairs, including wood stairs, available in other ways. The wood wedge tip, for me, this is the worst, that this is only here. The ramp incline and incline pillar, they're nice for some stuff, but not that many. And yeah, it's kind of useless, really. Yeah, gunpowder here. I thought I had taken all the gunpowder out. So cheating. I got food here. Building material. And I like to keep, you see that I have metal furniture, fences, trussing, numbers, bulletproof glass, and a lot of these, all of these, some I have a lot. Um, Sofas, I never use this, but I like to keep this stuff around, so if I'm looking for a block, I can check it and see if I can make, I really should make the pumpkin. I can make the block with one of these stuff. This chest here has stuff I use. In fact, the auger and the gas cans have to go back there. Stuff I use when I'm working at the base. just make it easy to grab that faster. And this actually should go elsewhere. So I have ink here. I actually added a modlet which I created, so I can craft ink. That's just so could I would feel free to scrap ink and not worry that I might want to do. This is actually wrong. Just recall that there is something wrong there. I'm not worried that I might want ink of some type and not have it. And then there are the paint brushes. Basically, for every pattern I'm using at the base, I keep a paintbrush with that pattern just in case I need a sample and I don't have it elsewhere. This is beer and meat. Yeah, I guess I have some meat. I just could never get enough potatoes to make the stuff. Well, now I have enough potatoes, but not before. Right. Okay. So armor and like I have like oh, these are the really sweet stuff, and I have like collectibles, right? So one of each kind. Guns and ammunition, and leave the gunpowder there. So the stack of gunpowder is 1,000. Each one of these has 1,000 gunpowder. So if I open, which means this stack is 5,000. So it's better to keep it stacked until you actually need to use it. So some stuff here. Yeah. Stackables. Basically everything that is not on one of the other chests because it has some other classification. Um, it stacks, so I can put more than one together, goes here. That's opposed of this. These are non-stackables. Okay, so the quests do stack, I suppose, but whatever. Chemicals, this is basically stuff I use on the camp station. And medicine. Drugs go here as well. Some of them. I have a lot of it on the horde base. So I'm gonna craft that because I need that. Okay. Now, yeah, let's go up. Yeah, let's go up. I needed the electrical part, so I basically got everything here. So this is my water source. Oh, damn it, I fell on it again. It's my water source. I also installed a modlet made by someone else so I can fill empty jars with this and not have it disappear. So I need to cheese it with the buckets because that's annoying as hell. Though it took me a while to decide to install that. I think after I installed that modlet, I only used that. I only filled glass jars once, which is funny. So I have two solar banks here, and they are connected with the battery bank. One of which I use a lot of battery banks in this base. Really needed more to range more cars and find more batteries. Solar banks are using quality 6 solar cells. That's how you get the maximum output. And what I do, this generator bank, which is fueled, it's not connected anywhere. And I have like a storage chest with a wire and a gas can. So the thing is, there is a bug where if you go out and you stay overnight, or I mean, I don't know exactly the circumstances in which this bug replicates, but it's basically when you go out. And I'm not sure if you have to stay a long time away or if you have to unload the game, like exit the game, unload the game again, not being at the base or what. But there is a bug where the battery bank is going to get used and the solar bank is not going to recharge it. So this generator bank is here so I can the wire relay right beside it, connect it to the battery banks and turn it on to refill the battery banks if I feel that's needed. Um, but anyway, so that battery bank goes here to this wire relay, and then there's this guy here. And I have this duct here. I should have painted inside. I have wire relays coming here. So I made these ducts to bring the wires to the rest of the base. Now they go to a couple of wire relays there because this is something I don't like. Wires crossing solid blocks. And I have one there as well, but I kind of needed to do that. So the wire goes here, this is almost not visible, and then this one here. And you can see there's a plate there. There is a wire relay behind it hidden. And this guy here actually goes down to a wire relay here. And then I place this block and paint it just like this thing here. And I wish I could make this block because if I could place like a something like that here to indicate this is a wiring stuff, it would be nice. And then the wire going out from here to here. I don't like it, and this goes to the blade trap. I don't like wires coming out of the wall, but there isn't really a lot of solutions to that. So yeah, this relay goes here and then goes that thing there, all the way there. Right? But these relays also continue to go down. And they go down all the way here. And we have like something here can stand to the wiring. So usually I leave things open. On other places I use something like this, but here because it needed to cross a lot of walls, I didn't do that. And then there is a ladder going to an underground part, which we're gonna see at some other point. Now I did open this entrance here. And let's walk all around here base a little bit. So we have all these wood bars here. It's just I kept crossing from that base to that base. And I had to like zigzag through the paths. And I got tired of that and decided, what the hell, I'm just going to have some bars here and that's going to be that. Later, I decided that it might have been better to use the trellis. I think this trellis would look pretty good there. Well, too late. So this building used to be round. This is now my horde base um, command post. I restore this building. This looks like the original war tower, but it's different. I kept it's higher, and I kept the painting pattern. I tried to do that as much as possible. I mean, uh, this is not painted just because I never got to paint that, but it's supposed to be painted. Um, wow, you're annoying as hell. Cannot do much about that guy. It's another bug of the game. Now, I intended to make horde-based defenses all around, but in the end, that didn't work for me. This tripwire opens the gate, the drawbridge, and the drawbridge is also opened by this motion sensor connected to a pressure plate so they can be changed. Now this turret here, it really should go away. Well, it fired once. That's interesting. Because I place these guys here, these ducts, which are very interesting. Place this guy here again. So these go all the way up and they are properly painted, and I have wires crossing from one side to the other. I have these like hatches so I can stand on top of it and wire things up. But let's go inside and look at this. And you can see that I have the same thing next to the turret so they can connect here and connect to the spotlight. I have some nice lights here as well. And then outside. So let's go inside. Oh, by the way, I use this light on many places because it has more hit points than any other light, which make it more survivable. Now this goes to the power room. We're gonna leave that for a little bit later. This entrance is supposed. I like my bases kind of making sense. So I want, and I hate jumping for ladders, right? I hate that thing that you stop the zombie from getting to the place by making so it cannot reach and placing ladders too high, like there. In fact, those ladders I would replace, well, those ladders I cannot replace really, because I want zombies to come here if they get inside the base. Cross through here and through this plate trap and being shot by this turret. Motion sensor there. Motion sensor here. Also connected to a speaker, so if a zombie is coming up here, I know that. And then there is these electric fences, all sorts of ways. That's because when I made this, I did not think I would need an electric fence, but I lost quality 6 M60, a quality 6 AK-47, and a ton of ammunition because, yeah, a zombie could get through here. Okay, so I have a third workbench here. This is just painting. This is just painting. The gun safe. So this is what the chest I lost looked like. And the only reason I didn't lose armor because I put this armor for Horde Night and then put the military armor after Horde Night back. The only reason I didn't lose the armor is because for some reason I had put the armor elsewhere at that time. So yeah, this is kind of what I lost looked like. Now here I have a bunch of wire relays and some of it is separate so I can turn it on and off without changing the rest. So electrical fences, for example, they are always on. I have a bunch of tripwire which could turn on the electric fence, but no. I have enough power. If I turn that, the electric fence is on and zombies get there. They get hit by the electric fence. Oh, this is intact. Nice. What about this? This one might have taken some damage. It did. Yeah, see? Any other light would have gotten destroyed. This one survived by the slimmest of margins. And I need 6 wood bars because let's talk about this. I had a drawbridge here. But basically every Horde Night since the, I don't know, 49, something like that, maybe even before that, the drawbridge got destroyed. It took me a long time to figure out why that was. In fact, I even made something here to be able to fix the drawbridge during Horde Night. But the problem is when the drawbridge is open, well, when the drawbridge is closed, so it's closed here, right? Let's take a look outside here. The drawbridge goes about here. No, here. It goes between these two pillars. So it goes all the way here, okay? So the drawbridge is closed, is there. So let's say there's a cop here and the cop explodes here. So the damage of the cop is going to go about 2 or 3 blocks out. So if it's here, it's going to go here, it's going to go here, it's going to go here, and maybe one more. It's definitely not going to go to the drawbridge there. And I do have a ditch. It's not that wide, but then I made this thing here so zombies will fall, not be next to the drawbridge, but it still got destroyed. And then I made some experiments and I figured out that the drawbridge takes damage from explosion as if it is open, even when it's closed. So if I place a timed charge here, and the timed charge has range 1, so it's only going to damage this block. It's also going to damage the drawbridge, even if it's closed. So cops exploding there did damage here. And I lost the drawbridge. Now, it's got a copy rotation here. Now this catwalk here, and there was, I actually need 2 more, no, just 1. Just copy rotation here, place it here. Okay. Oh, and yeah, there used to be a street light here. It actually goes up much higher. So when I replaced it, originally I had it much higher, and then I moved it to go lower, allow me to close that edge there. And the street light on this side got destroyed. The other side, it didn't get destroyed, but in the end I replaced with this guy, which is mine. Okay, the street light 3 blocks above illuminates pretty much all of this. This guy barely reaches 2 blocks below it. It's annoying, and I wish the foam pimp would not do that. Yeah, so this here allows me to, so the drawbridge goes all the way here, right? So I have a half block here. So when I open there, I can actually aim at the drawbridge and fix it. And this walkway exists so I can repair these blocks here because there are iron bars on top of them, so I cannot repair them from above. And it also allows me to get on these turrets for entertainment or to ammo them. All right. And then of course there's this stuff here. Oh yes, this here has to be replaced with steel. I keep forgetting that. Okay. So the gun safe, the electric fence is on. Turrets, that's every turret I have, like this turret here. This is the anti-bird turret. These turrets here and here aiming at the drawbridge. Well, this one does not exist anymore because zombies kept spawning inside, and going for the drawbridge to go outside to go into this path here. Yeah, annoying. So turrets and then horde base. I have two separate switches just because I need to separate the power since I use more than 300 watts. So it needs to be separate. Now, these here are the construction materials, mostly for uh, the horde base section, but sometimes I place things here for other parts. And this is the drop chest for the horde knight. This is what I got on day 140. This is what I got. It's nice that I got a quality 6 M60 to replace the one I lost to the explosion. So irradiated zombie cop go all the way up there, then got here and exploded and destroyed the chest that was here, which was the one that contained basically this thing and this thing I have outside there. You're gonna see that. So this is food, and it's all canned food because canned food has no food poisoning. You do not want to get poisoned on hard night, right? So there's also water and drugs. They're all here. On this one, the iron darts, honestly, I'm not entirely sure what to do with them. They used to be here, and honestly, after a horde night, they are all gone anyway. Um, this is just the extras I had from the last horde night. So this is the first aid drawer. Now, this here is the ammunition drawer, and I keep this here. Reload that. I keep this here so that I don't get my inventory completely full just carrying extra ammunition. And again, I have a drawer because the drawer has 1500 hit points and explosion resistance. Now, and we saw up here, it gives access to the top. I'm gonna leave the power room to the end. So this is the horde base. Yeah, this is where I fixed the drawbridge. And I did repair some of the damage I took on Horde Knight, but not a lot of it. See, there's almost 1200 there. This, and these blocks were turned into concrete. They were the only steel blocks that did turn into concrete. And I placed these guys here right when the horde finished. So some iron bars took a lot of damage. All this damage here is the blade trap. So blade traps at this level activate demolishers. The funny thing, for very bizarre values of funny, is that the blade traps had been destroyed by the time I think when the first demolisher came, it exploded, destroyed blade traps. I had my turrets deployed, and I was not able to remove both turrets before one of the demolishers got activated. So I destroyed the blade traps, and then I replaced the blade trap and turned it on, and that it survived long enough to get a couple of demolishers exploding here. That was annoying. And also got some damage here. So These two, the tripwire post and the electric fence post got destroyed. And I honestly do not understand how this stuff gets destroyed because I don't have damage on the dart trap. But the electric fence post got destroyed and the tripwire post got destroyed. And this one did not take any damage, just here and here. And I'm kind of thinking the damage comes from below, though I don't understand how the damage can do that. But it happens. And I did rewire it during Horde Night. And that's one of the things I like here with this tube. So the wire relay is right here. I can grab it and wire it. And he wire everything. And yet it's on a duct of sorts. It's made of wood plates, by the way. Uh, all these wood plates, they are under the wood fences and railings. So this wood fence here, that's the one. You can see how it's paper thin, right? So that's what I use. This was concrete. I did not upgrade that before Horde Night. I mostly upgraded this. So the idea is those stairs there. We can actually come down here and walk it, right? So zombies come here, and by the way, yeah. Yeah, that's where I want it. So the idea is zombies come here, get on the stairs, and then they get here, and I have barbed wire here to slow them down. And they walk through here, and you can see all the electric fences, right? And dart traps. Then they go here. There's a trick here I'm gonna show you guys later. And then let me make some wood frame blocks just so I can cross this without going through the... Yeah. This is just on this block, right? So zombies can't cross through here. And you have all these doors, and there is this bar here. They cannot cross while standing. They have to destroy this block first, but they don't mind doing that. They still come for this. And I have all these doors here connected to the path. They go through here, and they go through here. This, I tried 1,000 different things. The first thing I had was electric fences from here to some contraption I had here. But it always got destroyed before a single zombie got on this path. So I changed it multiple times and then decided this just didn't work, having stuff on the sides. So I tried to make motion sensor connected to a dart trap to just fire at zombies as they get here. Maybe the motion sensor will see to the sides, maybe not. But it doesn't, the motion sensor cannot see through bulletproof glass, it cannot see through arrow slits. So yeah, that's sad. And there's these trigger plates, and I'm going to talk about them later. And again, like all these doors, because every one of these doors can be opened to let the zombies, to attract the zombies. So say the path is destroyed here. This gets destroyed. I can still open that door there. Then say the path is destroyed here. After all, this was one of the places where I got the seal got turned into concrete. So the path got destroyed here. I could still open that one and attract zombies. But the way I want them to come is to continue here. So they do not get attacked here. They do not get attacked here. And basically they do not get attacked here because there is no space between these two sets to place any traps. And there is no space because I'm using the dimensions for the two entrances. The one that I had to remove and that one. And I removed that one after the last Horde Night. All my Horde Nights had that drawbridge. And from the moment it got destroyed the first time, it didn't stop getting destroyed. This is the furthest the zombies got away on last Horde Night. So you see no damage here, damage here. Last zombie got killed here. And of course, I do have dart traps on this side. This is the motion sensor that opens the drawbridge. Oops. Power drawbridge. So here I have a mine. Did not get destroyed. This is what I leave open on Horde Night. I also have this, which turns this trigger plate is 30-second duration on that blade trap there, so that when they cross here they get attacked. And I thought of placing like electric fences, crossing, etc. But on the first Horde Night where I closed that and left this one open, zombies did not go for it. So this is too far away. And this trigger plate activates this speaker, and it has a timer thing, 6 seconds, so it only plays for it plays for 3 times. I mean, the zombie can cross running. It will play for 3 times and then stop. Now this is a turret. Now a turret is like a tower, but it doesn't go all the way to the ground. It's connected to the side of a fortification. And this allows me to shoot at any zombies that get inside my dry moat. And honestly, I think this thing here looks cool as hell. Cool as F. And I had a quarter block here, but it just cut too much of my line of sight, so I removed it. And I can close this stuff here so that I can hide from spitting cops. Right? Alright. It's probably more to come. So that's the idea for the base, and again I can open at any time. This one here does not have the thing blocking them. All the others have, but they do. If I open this, they are going to try to break this block instead of going there. Okay. Now let's talk about the trigger plates. So this setup is pretty common, right? So the tripwires go here, and then they connect to the blade traps, dart traps. They used to connect to electric fence posts, but then I decided it was just better to have that always connected. And so let's talk about some of the other features. This first trigger plate connects to a wire that goes all the way. So it goes to this guy, and this guy goes all the way here, and this guy goes down here, which connects to these tripwires. And the idea is that these dart traps will save their ammo until a zombie steps there. And that tripwire, by the way, that pressure plate is set always. So as soon as a zombie steps here, those start firing. If I decided that, okay, they can stop firing for now, things are under control, I can click on reset and it turns off until someone steps here again. Or if I'm thinking, okay, this is bad, I need that thing firing right away, I can lower this door, this hatch, and step on the trigger plate myself. And this guy here, this is actually slightly different. It goes to this wire relay here. And this wire relay here, actually I need to reconnect something, yeah. This wire relay here goes to this blade trap, and this blade trap should also be connected there, or maybe this wire relay connected there to that blade trap. So if a zombie steps here, which again is power duration always, and I click reset if I want to turn it off, these blade traps turn on. Now it does require the horde base to be activated. Maybe it's the other one? It should be that one. So that one, those are those blade traps. You're gonna see that. Okay, this is unwired, damn it. Power duration always. I kind of want to... I'm confused here. Oh, I just did not reconnect it. Alright. I just did not reconnect this. Not this. This wire relay goes there and there. Reset. Down there, off. Off. Okay. Turn that off. This is how all this damage happened. Yeah. Zombies got far enough. I think the electric fence got destroyed. And I'm thinking it's puke. Either from birds, maybe birds coming from that direction. So when I come here to place my turret, a bird coming from that direction can spit in this direction and hit these. Or maybe from a cop that sees me from that corner and it spits, and they had that dividing thing, so it goes from one side or the other. Something like that. But the fact is they got destroyed. And I think at that point the zombies started crossing to this side here, and there are the barbed wire, but no traps to actually do them any damage. There's some mines, they activated mines, they exploded, but otherwise they were fine. It's almost off. And yeah. So they got here, they activated that, this turned on, and yeah, there were demolishers. They got activated and they started exploding and created chaos. And then I decided I need a blade trap to slow down the zombies and place a blade trap again. And that did not end well. Now, these blade traps here, which I can actually turn on. Well, we're gonna cross down carefully. Let's see. It did not get any damage from them. So let's show the trick here. I mean, if I go back, yeah, I take damage because when you're going back, you're higher and you're falling. So this is a wedge stairs. And these are half blocks. You can see here there is a half block and a full block below. So the blade traps are actually 3 blocks above instead of 2. But because there's a half block here, they are 2.5 blocks up. And slight damage here. And that doesn't hit any zombies except the demolishers. Now, the problem I have, which is the reason I have this bulletproof glass here, is that these blade traps can get destroyed before the demolishers show up by Cop's Pit. And the bulletproof glass does protect against that, while still allowing me to see what's going on. I cannot shoot, but I can see. But the demolishers in the last fortnight, they came on the last wave. They don't necessarily come on the last wave. It depends on the game stage. It's basically random. It can be the first wave, the second wave, the third wave. It's random. So I had some bulletproof glass on the side as well. And as you can see, it got destroyed. And the electric fences got destroyed. And this blade trap got destroyed. This blade trap actually worked until it was too damaged to continue working. But the electric fence was destroyed. Only one of these electric fence, only this guy here survived the horde night. These two got destroyed. Actually took some damage there. No, this one survived the night. All the other 3 here got destroyed. This got destroyed. This got destroyed. But it does have the thing here. Maybe a cop exploded and destroyed it. Or was it this one? I think no, because nothing did this much damage to it. So this must be from Horde Night. And this is supposed to slow down the demolishers while they are under the blade trap so that they can take a lot of damage and die. But they got destroyed before the demolisher showed up, so they ran right past it. So that's the little trick there. This here is pretty normal. Dart traps, electric fences, tripwires. I use bulletproof glass because bulletproof glass protects against explosion. Other things do not. I had the arrow slits, bulletproof glass, or full blocks protect against explosion. Plates or half blocks like these do not. So I had some lights here unprotected, they got destroyed, and eventually I just placed a bulletproof glass, and that was the end of it. Except once where the bulletproof glass there actually got destroyed, and the light went with it. The bottom light, the top one actually survived, if I recall correctly. Okay, so now here I have another set of solar banks. This doesn't have a lot of things. Batteries not good. So the zombie dog thing. Wow. You got here fast, buddy. All right. So this guy here connects to this wire relay, which goes all the way down, and that's what we're gonna go looking at next. Before we go there, so my helipad, my farm, and this bulletproof glass, which protects against explosions, protects against spit, is to protect my farm because vultures spitting at me kept destroying this thing here. This is a small detail here, like I have these lights here on the corners, so at night they are pretty visible. It looks pretty nice. So let's get back here. And we are now going to enter this room here. So the battery banks and wire relays, each one of these is connected to one of the switches. Um, Separate power. I actually could have the same generator power here, but well. And I have these things here because, as I said, I hate wires going through solid blocks like here, right? So with this guy here, this trellis, the wire actually goes through holes there, and it looks pretty good. And you can walk up and down it. So I have the wires for the lights. This turns off the lights at the base, so I can do testing. That's a small walkway I can use. These switches are connected in the same order, so these relays. So the switches there connect to the relays in the same order, in the same pattern, and they go here in the same pattern. And now we go down here, and this is the first floor, right? So water coolers too here. And it continues to go down. It goes down. And then I have actually the relays and lights connected to the, I mean, this one looks weird because it's not wide enough to connect to the wood, but this looks fine. Like, yeah, sure, it's connected there. Makes perfect sense to me. All right. So this is how my power is distributed through the base, right? Remember this door here? So these come from the solar panels through those ducts outside, and those ducts are hollow. It's just when it gets to this wall, I need to turn into wire relays because it just doesn't work outside. I have like these platforms I can stand to do wiring if I need. Here it doesn't work so well. Let's see, go here. And this is actually all closed off because I could not figure out a way of not making this closed off. This is the power to the garage, right? So I have two solar banks there, and each one goes to one of these power relays. So this is bringing all the power to the hard base. Now this wire here is, you can see that this is going that direction and this is going this direction, right? So this is going back to the turret, and the turret is connected to the uh, to the light here. Oh, I forgot to place the hatch here. Okay. We have this here, and we have the same thing on the side. And then we have the power coming from up and above. So the solar bank goes up, and there is the generators as well. So you can see that line going up, this line going up, and they feed various things there and connect to the switches and then go back here. All the electric fences are powered by solar banks, so they can be on 100% of the time without needing fuel to be replaced. The wires go back here, and some goes there, and a lot of them go here. This wall is right below the wall of the horde base command. This is right below my exterior wall. Now here, you have those relays of duct tape going back, which connect to the tripwires on right in front of the base. Let's see here, right? And these ones goes to the turrets. Now there's a switch here because this was a recent addition, and I just needed some way of turning off these turrets for Horde Night because I didn't want to spend the ammunition on Horde Night. Or more importantly, have Demolisher be activated and explode next to the stairs. I would much rather the Demolisher explode in my face than on the stairs. All right. So this is really, I mean, can wire things up and down, or I can close this and then wire from here to here. And this is the same thing on the other side. So this exterior wall is here. Honestly, I leave these open. I guess I closed them before Hard Night, but this ladder is too high for them. Well, every ladder here is too high for them, so they don't try to get to me through here. Everywhere I have a pillar, I actually have a pillar outside, so this preserves the structural integrity. And of course, I use lanterns inside to keep the light. I mean, my light is off, and there's enough light inside to see by, right? Now, the solar bank outside goes down here. It goes down here and here. On this, I had to close because the drawbridge comes here very close to this, and I had to close because of some of the stuff I was trying to do to see if I could keep the drawbridge from getting destroyed. Now, that makes that hole there always on. So let's turn this off. We have the dart traps here, and the electric fences as always, and even a trigger plate. So the idea is if zombies fall from that path there, which is the path, the first path they come to, right? So it gets through there, and you see that bridge where the dog crossed. Um, they get here and then cross here and then go there and all the damage there. So if they fall from there, they fall here in this hole and here they get killed. And if they are not getting killed, I can drop grenades and then detonate the grenades with exploding crossbow bolts. It works perfectly. And in fact, there just wasn't a lot of damage here. The door I fixed already. So it survived pretty well. And even the trigger plate didn't take almost no damage, which I was really surprised about. So the trigger plate is, the idea is the following. So I have a tripwire pulse, and the tripwire pulse is actually connected up. But if the zombie is bashing at this door, it can get out of the range of the tripwire, so nothing fires, even though it could hit them because the zombie is like pressing against the door. It manages to escape the tripwire pulse. So the tripwire pulse is activating the upper dart traps, but the electric fence pulse and the lower dart traps are activated by either the tripwire or the trigger plate. So the trigger plate is connected to this tripwire pulse. So if it gets activated, well, if the tripwire gets activated, it powers the same way. So the tripwire powers everything, and the trigger plate powers some things. I didn't want to place everything on the trigger plate because if a demolisher explodes here, the trigger plate is gone. Right. So that's always on. And then I have some stuff here. This here, so we have the trap wire there. So this is slightly harder to get through. It's right next to the stairs, right? So this is what is going to power those demolisher defense blade traps. Let's go down. And this here, I used to have more stuff here, but I removed it. This wire relay only powers that light there. That's all it does. So you can see that this has the lantern, which is always on, and there is also that light which goes on and off. But then I did some rewiring and it's now always on as well. Yeah, when I was distributing power here, like I had to do a lot of things. All right, we go here, and we are at the outpost at the entrance. And these wire relays, one is for light, and then I have one for electric fences, and the other for the dart traps. The ones up at the front, and not the ones that get activated by that blade trap there. So this was an experiment. I played like 2 or 3 Horde Nights with this. I didn't want to have everything depend on that pressure plate, because if it gets destroyed, as it did on last Horde Night, then everything connected to it stops working. So it happened on last Horde Night by the end of it. So at that point, these guys here stopped firing. Whereas this guy here worked our Horde Night. All right, so that's the wiring. Now let's look at some extra features. So I have this thing here, and I placed wood frames where it got destroyed, but nothing else. The idea is I was getting these blade traps were getting very damaged, or I think even destroyed, by cops spitting at me as they approach from the sides. So I place those walls there so the cops will not be able to see me. They can still see me from here, but if I block the sight from below, and in fact these lower plates here both protect them against seeing me and spitting in this direction, they serve as a further protection to the drawbridge before I realized that it was getting destroyed by cops exploding by the stairs all the way there with the drawbridge closed here. Yeah, I resent that. Yeah, it keeps making this noise when it was aiming at some creature and the creature disappeared, and like it could not finish its job, so it gets stuck in that state. All right, so special features. So I made this tower here. It looks very much like the original. This chest, I can store stuff here, and I can go here. At one point I had a turret here, but the turret kept shooting at the zombies no matter what I did, and with demolishers, yeah, that's very dangerous. But yeah, you can use this as a sniper location, and it can be used to go up here, right on top of the base. If I'm like in the corner and I want to go from one to the other. The problem is I cannot place stuff here, so it's very difficult to actually block the space. Well, it's not difficult, it's impossible to block the space. Um, and that allowed zombies, because I have these bars there on the outside, right? So the bars here are outside the bars inside. There's actually blocks here. These are plates. So the space inside is all free, and there are plates on the outside, exactly in the same place the bars were occupied. So spider zombies kept getting inside through here. That was very annoying. And and then I realized, well, but I didn't really intend to do this. I wanted to keep the colors and have a tower here, but not like this. I wanted to make the corner fully enclosed so I could hide inside it. Um, the way I did that, I had the same thing on this side. I destroyed it so I could make the tower. Now, I'm mostly happy with this tower. If you allow me a little bit of creative here. Uh, Add me, I'm gonna get one of these, and I'm gonna get wedge stairs. Well, I'd like to have one out of concrete. To blocks, building blocks, concrete building blocks, and then I can find it here. Okay. So I'm not happy with this in particular. This yeah. Just throw this away and turn this off. So I'm not happy with the look of the wedge tips. And later I thought, well, if I had used those wedge stairs, it would give that bumpy look, which I use in a lot of places in the space. If I look here, for example, you see how these blade traps are like stuck down in bumps. And in fact, those are wedge stairs as well. Um, so I think it would look much better with the stairs, but I did not make it with the stairs, so I don't know what it looks like or not. Now this again, I tried to place things here to attack the sides. Nothing I couldn't make anything work, and I'm not gonna place my motion sensors without any protection because it's gonna get destroyed. Everything else got destroyed even with protection, so not doing that. And here's the top of my turret. So this is a turret, it's elevated. We're gonna see from outside. It looks good. This is a tower because it goes all the way to the bottom. So from here I have a small windows. I can look inside at the base. This is not really meant to be looking inside. This is to look outside. So I have windows, I can look, and if the cops spit, they're gonna hit the windows. I can even hide that, but you're not supposed to hide. You have the windows to protect yourself. And you can come here to the sniper nest. So from here I can snipe at the zombies down there. I can crouch and move back to get out of the range from them. And see, like the cop would have to be there to spit at me. And at that distance, I don't think they can actually reach me. And I can even jump on top of this to get a better angle and then just go back and crouch again. So that's the sniper nest. And I get here. And the store goes to the top of the bars, which are vulture protection, of course. And then there's no more hatches all the way down. So the base was supposed to continue here, and then I figured out that zombies won't go this far. And I decided, oh, I have a different idea to use on this side. But in the end, I decided to finish this the game here. I've done pretty much what I wanted to do, and I want to try different things. So I never got to expand to the other sides. And besides, it makes it hard to take off with the gyrocopter. A thrower to store some loot here, because of course this is the inside of the base, right? So I can come here to go to the roof or go down. This here can hold ammunition for the turret, for example. So I can get to the wire relay for this hatch, connect here if I need to. This is the bottom. The door is misaligned here, should have been in the corner. These iron bars here, oh, I mentioned that, is to fix these blocks because there are iron bars there. And the reason there are iron bars there, one more. So I have these iron bars here because being on the wall means they provide structural integrity, and they are iron, so they have more structural integrity than the reinforced concrete. Now I have a bunch of tricks here I use to provide structural integrity. For example, oh, it got destroyed here. Maybe on the other side. Oh no, this changed. No, here. Yeah, here. It didn't get destroyed. So I have this thing here. So this is one of the metal sheets. So I have a steel block, then a metal sheet, then a steel plate here, and a full block here. So these blocks are all connected, which means the wall is actually giving structural integrity to this side here. And I've had horde nights where all of the pillars down there got broken and this did not fall off. So it works pretty well. And let's see, like all the plates here. I mean, these plates are not connected here, right? The iron bars are connected to iron bars, which are connected to these plates, which are connected to the plates below, which are connected here, but not directly. Here, yes, there is a direct connection, which increases the amount of mass it can carry. So, yeah, did that. I cannot reach here. Did not have time to paint. Didn't paint the side here. We saw the power room, we saw the power, we saw everything pretty much. Oops. And I can walk on top of the mine. I have the magazine. I have all magazines. So this is what the turret looks from the side. I had that thing there, like this thing is purely cosmetic. It's just that it looked too much like it was floating. So I thought that by adding this thing here, it would look less floaty. And I tried making like stairs continue straight here instead of coming to a point here because like there's no point to this point. But it didn't look good. Um, if I were to remake it, I would make the floor of this thing lower so that it would match this height and look less like it was floating. But I think it looks pretty good here. On the tower, I think it needed to be higher. I think the sniper nest needed to be higher. And of course, the wedge tips really don't match the rest of the base. And that's it. Regrets. I should not have made this in front of one of the entrances. I should have placed all the horde base at the side. And in fact, um, when I move to this base, I make a horde base on the side. I use it for 3 or 4 horde knights, and then I made stuff at the front. And I should have kept this thing at the side. And in fact, you see like that plate there. This is a plate because it was connecting to the horde base like I have on that side. So if I were to do it again, I would not burden the entrance of my base with the horde base. There are other things that are also important here. Not letting the cops spit from distance, very, very important. The staggering with the staggering I got with these trigger plates, I think worked pretty nicely. But this got destroyed in the last Horde Night, right? Um, I think it would have to be moved to a place that is less likely to be, where it's less likely to be damaged, like a place where zombies don't get hit, so that if they explode, if they're about to explode, they are more likely to explode away from the trigger plate. When there's like a corridor there, for example, and make it corridor with walls so I cannot see it. My turrets cannot see the zombies. No one can see the zombie inside there. So if it gets there, unless it's already about to explode, it's unlikely to do so there. Um, and also very important, no spits. Because one of the problems here is that if a cop spits in this direction, yeah, it can destroy the stereo plate. So Um, so I like the staggering. It just needs to be better placed. The one on the other side worked pretty well. Um, the bulletproof glass here, it kind of worked for a while, but it shouldn't have been bulletproof glass. It should just have been plates, maybe even simple plates or full blocks to protect, because plates do let damage go through. Full blocks do not. But even if I had plates here, cops will not spit in that direction because they will not see me. So my biggest error was putting the bulletproof glass so I could see the zombies here, but that means the cops can see me and spit at me. And if I happen to be between the cop on these electric fences, yeah, that's where they're gonna hit. And then, of course, yeah, the electric fences are right in the way, right? So if the electric fence was all the way here, it would not be in the way. But this is a recent addition. I didn't have enough time to plan this very well. Um, and here on the side, yeah, I also need a wall here so that to protect the electric fence posts from explosions here. These blade traps, they're too far away for me to fix. So I think I would like to have like a first section of the base with the, so imagine I don't have any of that there, right? I like the stairs because the zombies, they can come from all sides and there's nothing to stop them. So they get here very quickly, and then here they get slowed down by the barbed wire or the electric fences. And they're all here. And even if they're turn the corner and they're here, they're right next to these guys. Okay? So I throw a Molotov here, I get every zombie in the horde. And in fact, in the back here, it's necessary to make this roof. And the roof is a protection against, it's both for placing this stuff and a protection against vultures, which are spitting in this direction. Uh, but the wall here started not as that, but as a way of letting me throw Molotovs, and if I miss the zombies, the Molotov hit the wall and still sets all the zombies on fire. So this wall and these stairs, they're basically how I managed to hit a lot of zombies at once. But once they are past that wall, then you have to kill the zombies individually. So if this section of the base was like this, half a block up with blade traps high above, um, I could have the zombies go through here and have the demolishers get hit by the blade traps and slowed by the electric fences, which goes all the way from one side to the other, and getting hit by the blade traps, which I can easily fix and even replace as I did, only to have it explode. Yeah, if I made this section the anti-demolisher section, and then have the next section be the fight the zombie section, the remaining zombie section, that would be perfect. And in fact, like I could have like these stairs come through here, and then you see that it does a small loop. Instead of doing a small loop, do something longer and get here and let the demolishers go through here without me even looking at them. And only if they manage to get through the blade traps and get here, then I can come here and handle them. And of course, have blade traps and dart traps and electric fences here to fight them. This is just because spacing issues. And there was a flagpole here. A cop destroyed it. I was pretty irritated that the cop destroyed that. So that's another lesson. Yeah, I think these are the main lessons I learned. I left the damage, most of the damage here intentionally, so that you can see that was hard 140 with some pretty big mistakes like replacing the blade trap and activating it only to have a demolisher come and explode on it. But it still survived pretty well. Many things I will change in the design, many things that worked really well. And I'm very happy to have find out that the drawers, they are not locked. They are not locked. They do use steel to be crafted, but otherwise they are really good. And they have the same storage space as the chest. right? The gun safe is even better. It has 5,000 hit points and explosion resistance, but it has 8 spaces less than the storage chest. And yeah, I'm really happy with the base. Garage doors work perfectly, the drawbridge worked perfectly, the power and stuff, the electricity going through the underground tunnels is working perfectly, and it's pretty much everything is pretty much fine. So this is the base. I hope you guys enjoyed the tour. Thank you for watching.